Hey guys, today I sat down to film a hair care routine and I was going to film it and I realized that if I were to include all of the things that I do to my hair to keep it blonde, it would be literally a 40-minute video. So I thought that before I filmed a hair care routine and before I put that up for you guys, I would first talk about how I keep my hair blonde. I am asked all of the time how I keep my hair blonde. I'm asked all the time what I use, what I've done, how I keep it healthy, how I keep it from falling out. So today I'm going to be going through all of that and just showing you guys and telling you guys what I have done in the past. Now this is going to be slightly long because I have tried out every shade of blonde you can think of, hence the title, 50 Shades of Blonde. Yeah, totally overused, whatever. I have done so many things to my hair, different variations of blonde, different types, different textures. I really have enjoyed seeing what looks best on me and seeing what, doesn't necessarily look so hot. And honestly, off of the top of my head, I'm not going to be able to remember everything that I use. I am going to go back and research and look through receipts and stuff and make sure that I know exact colors for you guys. But in this moment right now, I don't know every color. I will make sure to write it out for you guys so that you can go and pick up the exact shades. It will be listed below. Everything that you can think of will be in this video. I just may not be talking about exact names right now. So let's start at the beginning and I will be inserting pictures periodically here. I got my hair highlighted by this incredible hairdresser in Georgia. Lyric was my hairdresser for a really long time. I saw her maybe every 4 to 6 months and she was just phenomenal. She and I slowly took my hair to that light blonde that you see in the photo, and that was highlights. So that is something I can't give you advice on. That was the beginning of my blonde kind of hair journey. I started out with highlights like that and there were a lot of them, and then I just moved into like full out blonde. So that is the first shade. Then I moved to Kansas. Now when Lyric was doing my hair, I was paying like $300 every single time I got my hair done. I was working 3 jobs. It did not matter. I moved to Kansas, suddenly I didn't have a job anymore, and I definitely didn't want to like ask my husband if I could go get my hair done for like $300. So I started experimenting with at-home box size. The first one I'm going to show you was one of my favorites, and weirdly enough, it's one of the ones I am having the hardest time recreating, and I don't know what's different now about my hair. That light blonde was ever so slightly strawberry. It was kind of warmer, and I know it was a Revlon Color Stay box, believe it or not, and it was absolutely phenomenal. I loved that shade on myself. I loved the warmth that was there. I really enjoyed that, and I would like to go back to that shade. And honestly, I've used that box since then and my hair just went very orangey, and I don't know what exactly was different, but it just didn't work out quite the same way. However, if you look at that photo, my roots actually were quite dark before that, so it totally lifted them to a great shade of blonde. I completely recommend that product, and I thought that was a great hair color for me. I continued to use that to touch up roots and stuff like that probably until last summer, and then I decided I wanted to go blonder, and that was where things got the tiniest bit frightening for me. I went to a very light platinum and almost blonde, and this was so much fun. I loved having like almost white hair. I thought that was a fantastic look. I thought that it looked very brightening on me. It was so pretty and I absolutely loved it. And I know that I used, first off, the L'Oreal Feria Bleach Blonde Lightening System to actually lighten my roots and get them to match kind of what my hair was at the time. And then over that, I went in with the L'Oreal Feria shade in lightest ash blonde. I'm sure I've already corrected myself right here, but that was a fun look. I loved having such light blonde hair. I thought that it was so cute and it was amazing. However, it took a serious toll on my hair. My hair was already really long. It was really, really damaged. I hadn't had it cut in a really long time. Going over damaged hair again with that light of a blonde really took a toll on it. So I wound up cutting a lot of it off. It wasn't like a necessity. My hair wasn't falling out or anything. However, it just didn't feel very healthy, so I cut a lot of it off. Fast forward a bit and my hair was to the point where I needed to touch up the roots again. So again, I used the L'Oreal Feria lightening kind of bleach system, and then I went over it with a kind of dark blonde, and I only went down to about my chin. That dark kind of blonde to light blonde ombre was a ton of fun. I really, really liked it. However, if you have ever done a kind of reverse, well, not a reverse ombre, but if you've ever done an ombre on yourself where you had to take the top half of your head darker and leave this half, you know, like blonde as opposed to like bleaching up, it's very hard to get that nice fade when you're coming down from the roots, I feel like. And I really liked it, but I feel like I messed up every single time that I did it. I did that for several months, I feel like, probably all of fall until recently. And I liked the cooler blonde on myself. I thought that was very, very pretty, and I thought that having the blonde ombre was a lot of fun. It faded very fast. It faded within 4 weeks. Every single time I was back to a light blonde, and then my roots didn't quite match, so that was a little difficult, but I did really like it while it lasted. Right before I had this color on my head, I actually used another Revlon Colorsilk product, and this was a warm blonde. However, I thought that it was the one that I had probably right around this time last year, the first like at-home system that I had used, and it was not. I bought the wrong shade. So I felt like my roots went really, really orange. I felt like the rest of my hair was just a little bit too warm. I didn't like the colors. I waited a full month before I did this. So I gave my hair about 6 weeks, and then I finally did this. Now, this shade is one of the ones I'm most comfortable with. I feel like it's probably a medium light blonde, and I think it's kind of cooler. Hopefully you guys can see the color okay. And this was L'Oreal Feria's light ash blonde or something like that. And this was what originally, to get the platinum, I used over the Bleach blonde system. Easily my favorite hair. I like this the best on myself. I feel like my roots did go a bit coppery the last time I bleached it, but they always tend to. I actually have never found a cure for that. It just kind of goes away after a week for me. But I really do love this, and this is my current favorite shade of blonde. I'm probably going to go the slightest bit lighter after I give it a little bit of time to rehabilitate itself. Just for summer, I love having that light hair, like I said. But okay, so now we're into the giant disclaimer I should have done at the beginning of the video. I am not saying you should ever dye your hair at home. It's a very frightening experience, and I know girls whose hair does not like quite withstand the way that mine does. I have very thick hair. I have a crap ton of it, and it's very strong. Prior to bleaching it, I never even used heat on it. So because when it was healthier and it was brunette, I actually had very naturally curly hair. However, as time has gone on, quit driving by my house. As time has gone on, it's gotten more damaged and it doesn't quite curl the same way, hence I have to use more heat on it, blah, 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 blah. Dyeing your hair at home is very scary. I recommend, if this is your first time doing it, and you know, if I can't talk you out of it and you have to do it, I feel you, girl, boy, thing, have someone else there to help you, because if you totally screwed up the first time, it's so hard to get it back to like a good state. I'm experiencing that with this last bleaching job, or this last like blonde job that I did with the Revlon Colorsilk right before this. It's very hard to get your hair back to not only a healthy state where you feel like you can reprocess it, but also to a state where you actually like the color. Very difficult. Make sure that you do all of this with caution. I know that box lightening systems are not good for your hair, and that's totally 1,010% something like I'm aware of. I got you. However, it's something I've dabbled in, and the first time I had such great luck with it, I've just gone back. And again, my hair isn't, you know, hyper unhealthy. In fact, I don't feel like my split ends are out the wazoo. They're no worse than they usually are when my hair is, you know, at this length, and I haven't had it cut in like 6 months. So this is just what I do. This is how I lighten my hair. And now I'm gonna give you kind of a rundown of what I think the best one is, and that is totally lightening your hair first with the Feria, the L'Oreal Feria bleach blonding system, and then going over it with their lightest cool blonde shade. This really helps to cancel out any copper or orange shades in the hair. It gets it to a nice light blonde. And I feel like that system really doesn't damage your hair like crazy. I have used some in the past, obviously, that just made my hair feel gunky and brittle and gross. This one doesn't make my hair feel like that. It doesn't feel like it's gonna all fall out. And it doesn't feel, you know, super dry or brittle. That's going to get you to a nice blonde. I always recommend waiting anywhere from a week to 2 weeks in between like bleaching it blonde and then putting over that hair color on top of it, because that's going to really cool it down and take out the orange and the copper tones. However, you know, if you reprocess it, that other color still does definitely have bleach. So it's, you know, you just have to kind of be careful and, you know, use at your discretion. I already know this video is going to get a crap ton of people saying no, 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 no. So I'm actually going to turn off the comments. I'm sorry. I've just, you know, it's such a personal thing, and I know that people get very angry when you don't do things like by the book. People are so pissy about everything these days. However, if you would like to ask me questions about, you know, box lightening systems or any of my other experiences, please feel free to message me and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. And yeah, I think that's going to be it for me, and I hope you liked this video and that you found it kind of helpful. And until my next video, I love you girls so much, and I will talk to you very soon. Bye!